Hey guys, it's Jeff Hartman, the Neptune Man. Today we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you a bearing tip when you're replacing your washer bearings, okay? And I recently had a client, his name is Chris, and he had an issue. He had a Kenmore Elite HE2, and what we're looking at, I got a little video here I can play for you. This is his basket. He had just put it, of course, the support is back here, the spider. And then the shaft, he put it through the bearings, and then he noticed some. Let's see what he noticed. See how much wobble he's got there? Okay, and he also sent me a picture. Let's go take a look. Here's why he's got some wobble. You see right here, this is where the front bearing rides, in this little area between here, and you can see a step right here. So what happened was, when his front bearing, well, you got two bearings in there. The front bearing typically goes bad first because it's closest to the seal, so it gets exposed to the water. And once that bearing starts to hang up, that's why when you first start hearing the washer scream or squeal, you got to get this bearing replaced, because what happened is if the inner race rotates slower than the shaft, it'll eventually cut into that shaft, okay? And that's what happens. So once you put it back together, you're going to have play in that bearing, because normally it's a nice tight fit on the shaft, right? But since he's got a cut right here, you can see that's where the front bearing rides. And now I've had clients take this spinner support or support bracket or spider, whatever you call it, there's different things you call it, but you can take those off. There's two screws on each arm or leg, whichever one you want to call it, and you can take that off and you take it to a machine shop and they can weld it up. Now I've had some clients do this at home. It depends on how much equipment you have, but you have to put this thing on a lathe, and it's got a pretty big, diameter across this spider with the three arms. So once you weld that shaft up a little bit, then you can machine it back down, or you could maybe put a sleeve on it. You can ask your machine shop about a sleeve, because they would have to probably machine more of the shaft so it equals the area where the wear is, and then they can actually slide a sleeve on there, okay? And I think they epoxy those on. Maybe they weld them. I'm not sure. You can ask your machine shop. Now, I might be able to get you a new shaft, or one that's been used. Maybe they scrapped the machine out. Just send me an email with your model number, and let me see what's available for you guys, and see if you can just get another pre-owned support bracket, or maybe even brand new. See what the brand. Problem is, Whirlpool, they used to sell the support bracket by itself, but now they actually sell it with that stainless steel basket, and that brings the price up to $350, $400. I've seen some that are like $500, and that makes it too cost prohibitive. So if you run into this problem, now another thing you have to watch is this little, I call it a flanged cup, but this actually rotates inside the seal. We have to make sure that this is smooth. Sometimes I've seen these get cut because it's actually, when the bearings start to wear into the shaft, it brings the shaft down, and then this piece right here will start to cut into the edge of the seal, because those seals have a steel core with the rubber inlaid onto it. So eventually, if this shaft drops down so much, it'll start to cut into this piece right here, and that's bad because you can't replace this piece, as far as I know. I don't know. A machinist could probably rebuild this for you if they're really good. So just keep that in mind. This should be nice and polished and smooth. If this is rough, I had one client that used a wire wheel to clean that up, and it put a bunch of little grooves in it, right? The wire wheel's hitting it, and he put that all back together, and the seal only lasted a couple months because it just chewed the new seal up, because you want that to be polished as smooth as possible. Okay, now here's what the seal looks like. Now this is the 8540-347 seal. This was a custom seal I had made, and the problem is you have to buy 500 of these things. So I also have a 8540091, which was used on the Duet Sports, And those, the problem, I bought 600 of those things and I sold them all over about 6 years. So the demand wasn't really high enough for me to go ahead and invest enough to buy 500 more of those seals. So if you want to do that, let me know. I'll let you buy that. I got the tooling for it. You can buy the tooling from me, and then you can order 500. Then you can resell these if you like. So that's an option. Just contact me via email and let me know what you're interested in. So if we go back here, we've covered the replacement tip for this shaft and the cup that rotates inside the seal. Now I have an f35air.com. I wasn't sure. I want to let you guys know. If you just go to f35air.com, if your washer displays F35 or SUD, which is SUD, I have a repair kit you can try, and also I have one for the APS, which is the analog pressure sensor. Okay, click on that, that'll take you into there. Now the analog pressure sensor kit I have is for this version of board right here. This is the surface mount board. This one here is called a through hole because it actually has holes where the pins actually go through the hole. I don't know if you can see that. Where this is actually just laying right on top of the surface. That's why they call it surface mount. Okay, this is the actual sensor that detects the pressure in the hose. Okay, and this one is a through hole. That's why I call it through hole version. This is the SMT, which is the surface mount version. I have a kit for this one. You can actually replace this chip. Now when you cut this off, you want to keep the cuts as close to the body as possible so you don't rip these pins off, because if you cut it like right here, you're going to put a lot of stress on this pad. And I've had some clients where they've ripped those pads right off the board. The good thing is only 3 out of 8 pins are actually connected to the circuit board. The rest are just pads to help give that chip support. So if you break a pad and it's not one of the 3 you need, you're still good. Okay, but I recommend keeping. You got to use some really small dikes that cut, side cutters, and cut right along this edge of the chip. That way you put less stress on these pads because you don't want to rip those pads off. Okay, that's just a tip I want to give you. But yeah, you can repair these. They're about 125 bucks for a new APS sensor, but you can repair it for 35 bucks with my kit. $39. So, which includes the postage for priority mail. And then we'll go back to here. Then our last one's the F01. I didn't know if you knew I had that either. So this is for Whirlpool dryers. And it works on Kenmore Elite and the Maytag front load dryers. So what happens, you get an F01 error. And I have a repair kit for that. And it's $34.95 as well. And you have to have a soldering iron. And this board is pretty easy to get out. And once you get it out, you can replace the component that goes bad. And that's in the kit, okay? So with these in mind, just want to let you know what's going on so you can save some more money. And I know we like to save money. Plus you get the, it feels good to repair things instead of just scrap it all the time, okay? Again, this is Jeff Hartman, the Neptune Man. Just contact me if you need anything about in this video that interests. Let me know, okay? We'll go from there. Thanks. Bye-bye.